Soul Garden.
Hello, Ambassador Gemini. Welcome now to Soul Horoscopes Weekly Edition. I'm your host to the universe, Christopher Witecki. And this week we have two sponsors, both worth checking out. First, 2012 Act 2 videos, now available for immediate download at soulmart.me. These are flipping people out. I did a good job on these. Come check it out. It's only $4.95 and well worth the 15 minutes of a watch. April, May, and June in Gemini detail. Plus, GA, the guardian agency. I don't know if you checked this out, but this is like having me in your back pocket. People are telling me it's helping them. They're avoiding bad things from happening. Not that you wouldn't without it, but it certainly does help. 99 cents for 1 week to check it out. gatext.me. All right, so the Gemini tribe. It's a big month. You are making a quantum shift, and your quantum shift is in your perspective of context. In other words, what is the vantage point of your context? For those of you who understand that. Another way to look at this is, where do you start? What is ground zero of how you see yourself in the world? It is that perspective that Geminis are shifting in. And I think due to the Mercury retrograde, having a Gemini sun and having a lot of Gemini friends, I don't think you guys have gotten to the quantum shift yet as a result, and most of you. You're going to see yourself in a whole new way as far as yourself in the world. Maybe you always saw yourself from the perspective of being the baby, the third born, or the fourth born, or the fifth born in the family, the baby, the family. And maybe being the baby, the family has made you into the baby everywhere in life, and maybe you're saying, you know what, that was a family that's gone, now I am the what? That is what it's about. Now, when we start on Monday, things are frustrating because we are going through the experience of a grand square. Other people call this a grand cross. I don't think it's much of a holy thing. I think it sucks. It's a grand square. It is a tug of war in 4 different areas, and it is fear in 4 different areas. Now, in the big global conscious perspective, Earth is dealing with this from intuition and God versus ego. So it's ego versus God. That's never fun, and that is a classic back to the Bible. And then creative thinking, right, versus emotional beliefs. So what we feel it should be versus what we actually think. So we're in a stalemate. This is like Congress every day in the United States. Now here in Gemini, or for you, it actually boils down a little bit smarter. It is your feelings for relationships and how you think human relationships and marriages and partnerships should go. And on the other end, your ego. Venus is moving into Gemini, so your ego is starting to wake up. Your identity is starting to wake up. You're wanting a makeover. You're wanting a change. But that change is in what? It's in conflict with your relationships. That's no fun. And on the other side, we have your ambition to get ahead in your career and move forward in your career, fighting against the practical desire, the practical things to survive. So survival versus career, marriage versus ego. Not fun. Now, what do you do on a day like this? Nothing. You just get to Tuesday. Because on Tuesday, Jupiter rules the day. And we can breathe again. We see outside our box. And that is what it'll be. When it comes to seeing your context or your social context, it might be indeed Tuesday that Geminis have their breakthrough, where they really start to see it. Now, the universe is giving you some clues here with what we call a yod. And this is actually, I call a dilated yod because it's kind of cheating a little bit. But this is the clue from God right here if you want to know. On the one hand, you know damn well what you want to do with your career. Just stay focused on your goal and don't worry about the fact that it might be a long way away. Secondly, just be flexible in who you have to be in the moment according to who is around you. You're going to have to remain flexible, says Uranus, with who you are and what your context is. In other words, one day you might actually be the baby of the family, and one day you might be the firstborn. Uranus says it's what the job entails. All right, so that's what it comes down to, but it's a big tour. The moon is in Sagittarius, so emotions are still focused on relationship on this day, and this is a day where I think things start to move. Now, on Wednesday, it gets crazy again. So the universe is doing this and this and this, kind of like a Gemini's mind, right? That's because we have a bunch of fear that just kind of comes out here out of nowhere and hits us again, and Uranus hits the day, so it's a day of breakdown, breakthrough. Again, this might be the day, if yesterday wasn't, that you figure out what your place is in the world. This would be my second bet, if I had to bet in Vegas. But there's fear you have to break through to get there. Now, this is the fear of your new ego. To pull all this off, you're going to have to reinvent yourself, and you know it, and you're afraid. Afraid of, can you do it in alignment with your career? Afraid of, can you do it in alignment with your home family foundation? Can you keep things stable? So there's a real concern of shaking things up and what that will mean to the Gemini tribe, quite clearly. And you're going to have to shake things up. You have no choice. If you don't, the universe will shake things down. This square goes back to 1929. It hasn't been there that long. It hasn't come back since then. This is the square that brought down the stock market along with Uranus at 4 degrees at the time. What this square represents is to step forward in your new social perspective or in your new kind of way of being. It means you're going to have to just step out of what you're comfortable with boundaries. Geminis will absolutely be uncomfortable to move ahead. There's no way around it. I just got to say it. This is me talking to my son. Son, you're going to be uncomfortable in this change. You guys can hear it coming out right now, but that's actually quite true. Now, for those of you who are watched over by this very, very juicy past life with text, which seemed to be a total hit with our subscribers last week. These are based on fear, false evidence appearing real in your subconscious. Trying to go to your natal chart and seeing where would fear bubble up and why. So should be interesting. Let me know what you think this time. Then on Thursday, the universe rings our bell. Literally, your nerves might be a little rattled on Thursday. That's because the moon emotions is going to move up and focus across that nerve with having to get and be uncomfortable. What I just said a minute ago, being uncomfortable, well, you feel just what I was saying today, all right? Now, what you want to do is just deal with it, you know, just kind of go with the flow, release the old boundaries, release the old comfort zone, say goodbye to the way it used to feel comfy all the time, and be open to the potential. What this does is rattle you in two places. It rattles you in inner faith, and it rattles you, where's the other rattle there with Mars? Oh, with your home family and foundation. Excuse me there for a second, went blank. So your home family gets rattled, your faith gets rattled, but it's a good or bad rattle. It's a good rattle if you let go of the old. It's a bad rattle if you just kind of crunch down and get more afraid. Don't forget, is Mercury day, your home planet. Mercury's direct, so you're likely going to get it. Now, if you had problems getting it, well, we've got a solution for that. A SoulMart solution with SoulMart office hours, where our practitioners come on camera, web camera, just like this, and that would be you on the other side, but this is Carolyn Nagel and Master One Feather. But come ask your question on webcam, and now if you come ask a question on camera, since you share your life with us, we'll give you a little coupon for a private reading, so that's cool. Discount on a private reading. Huh, watch what you say. Then we go to Friday, which actually turns out to be rather quiet this particular week. Very quiet. That's because the planets are quieting down. We just had an up, down, up, down. Venus rules the day, so it's a day of kind of finding peace, making peace with your new social circle. You may have been playing out this whole where am I in the world context with a group of friends or with a certain reputation. So if it caused any war, goes to peace now on Friday, so you go kind of to peace. The moon is still in Capricorn, so you're pretty private and reserved, but that sore spot is not being rubbed. That's good. And this opposition starts to come to a head. What's this? Well, you've been working on following your heart's dream for about 2 years now, and the truth is no matter what you reconcile with your place in the world right now, it's not going to be what your dream is. It's not. You're not ready. You're not ready. You're not even clear on what your dream is. So you're going to have to let go of that, and that's what part of this is, that you will get your dreams. They're going to manifest, but it takes time, and that's part of that opposition. Now on Friday, if you need a little company, well, we've got SG Live with Carolyn Nagel and myself, and we'll be wrapping with Zodiac Director Bernadette Morgan. She's our Aries Director at Soul Garden in the Garden. We're going to be talking it up about spring fever and what that means in an Aries way and a Mars way, and Mars going direct in a second. So don't miss it. Come chat with us, or if you do miss it, don't worry, we record it, and we'll be there at soulgarden.me. Then on Saturday, kind of a quiet day again, but things are stirring in the background. On the one hand, Neptune rules the day, so it's a day of logging into your higher self and getting that extra intuition. In your case, making final calls on or as to whether you should go forward or not with your current social context changes that you see in the making. At the same time, the moon moves into Aquarius, so you are, at least the emotions get kind of like less vulnerable, more philosophical, more in the brain, which you're a lot happier with, so that's a good thing. But the biggest news is that Mars goes direct. So masculinity, testosterone, turns on. This is the spring fever that I think people are going to feel like bunnies, really, literally in an Easter way. But Mars direct does mean that your plans to secure yourself, your plans for your home or your family or what you want to do with home and family, start moving forward as of Saturday. So that's good, and you're feeling better about all that. On Sunday, it really is a wrap-up day in so many ways. Saturn rules the day, so this is the day where you're going to commit to where you're heading next in the world, in society, or at least next right now. Remember, it's not long-term. Uranus says you'll always be having to change it for at least 10 years. I'll talk more about that another time. The moon's still in Aquarius, so you're feeling good there. But this Yod does come to its climax. Remember, its message was, you know exactly what you want to do with your career. Just be flexible with what that means you'll be in the world and in the moment. And then this opposition where you're struggling between your dreams coming true now and where you are in society now, you kind of come to peace at that. So it's a real wrap-up Sunday, which is nice. All right, that's all I have for this week's forecast, but I will see you in 7 days more. Until then, live, love, be.